Later this month, Hennepin County Judge Regina Chu will determine the fate of Kim Potter. The former Brooklyn Center police officer was convicted in December of first and second degree manslaughter for fatally shooting Dante Wright during a traffic stop last April. Under Minnesota statutes, Potter will be sentenced on the most serious charge of first-degree manslaughter. As for how Judge Chu will rule, we asked a local criminal defense attorney to weigh in.
In this particular case, a presumptive sentence is 86 months in prison. There is a range that the judge can sentence between. The low end of the box is 74, and the high end of the box is 103. For the judge to do something different than that, either to give more time or less time, or as the defense is asking, to sentence Kim Potter to probation, the court has to find substantial and compelling reasons to treat this case differently than the average case.
Matt Holson is a criminal defense attorney from Martin and Wagner law firm in Rogers. The prosecution says Potter should face a sentence above the state's guidelines because she abused her authority as a police officer and endangered others when she fired her weapon. The defense, meanwhile, argues that Potter should get a lower sentence or possibly even probation. Holson says it's difficult to say whether the judge will issue a sentence above the sentencing guidelines, but he says it's likely that Potter won't receive probation.
So there wasn't anything legally requiring Judge Chu to take Kim Potter into custody. Judge Chu certainly could have said, you know what, I'm going to leave things as is, come back on the sentencing date, you'll appear out of custody, and I'm going to make a decision at that point what I'm going to do from a sentencing perspective. The fact that she took Kim Potter into custody leads me to believe, as sort of a threshold decision, Judge Chu has likely decided that she's not going to grant a downward dispositional departure and place Kim Potter on probation.
Judge Chu will sentence Potter on February 18th. Meanwhile, Brooklyn Center police are investigating a shooting that occurred between two vehicles Thursday night in which two young men suffered gunshot wounds. It happened in the 7200 block of Unity Avenue at about 7 p.m. According to witnesses, two vehicles were driving southbound when gunfire was exchanged between them. Both injuries sustained by the two individuals are not life-threatening. No arrests have been made, and Brooklyn Center police urge anyone who may have home security camera footage of the incident to contact them. The officer-involved shooting of Amir Locke in Minneapolis provided the backdrop for a state legislative discussion Friday on improving public safety and community trust with police. The discussion centered around a public safety bill authored by DFL lawmaker Cedric Frazier of New Hope. The bill includes increasing the authority of the Post Board, which oversees the licensing of police officers. Another piece would allow local units of government to establish a civilian oversight council, which could make findings of fact to impose discipline on officers. Frazier calls that a critical piece.
This article is an essential piece of this bill because we can't implement innovative strategies without the confidence and trust of the community. That confidence and trust from community will make the jobs of our officers easier and in turn make our communities safer.
The mother of Kobe Dimmick Heisler also spoke during the hearing. Her son was autistic and was shot and killed by police after a family crisis 911 call in Brooklyn Center about 2.5 years ago. She says the bill should provide families of such incidents quicker access to body-worn camera video.
In the George Floyd case, in the Dante Wright case, and now in the Amir Locke case, officials were able to present the body-worn cameras within 24 to 48 hours due to public pressure. I don't think that any individual family should have to rely on public pressure to get videos early.
The bill's current language would provide body cam video access to families no later than 7 days. The City of New Hope held its State of the City address this week and offered perspective on the opening of the new aquatic park. The city started construction in 2019, but the pandemic delayed the opening. When the pool opened last June, People showed up and then some. Swimming attendance was close to 47,000 this past summer, compared to 19,000 in 2017, which was the last year the old pool was open. The Maple Grove Arts Center has its first show of the new year now up. Neil Persley has more in today's Weekend Showcase.
This is the Advocate Show. It's free for all members of the Maple Grove Arts Center.
The Maple Grove Arts Center is kicking off the new year with some fresh new works on its walls. Some of the artists might be familiar, but none of the pieces have been displayed in the gallery before.
Well, this is my favorite show because this is just where all the creativity comes together. There's no theme. There's no running, there's nothing to stop your creativity from just giving me anything you want,
From beets to beaches, flowers to feathered friends, the subject matter is as varied as the styles and mediums.
34 pieces, and there's 18 artists this year. Photography over here, a bit of photography. There's the plastic waste, and then there's a lot of oil paintings and acrylic.
The official opening night is Thursday, February 17th at 6:30, so you have time to put it on your calendar. Many of the artists will be there to answer any questions you may have.
We always judge the pieces. I have to pick a judge yet, but we always pick someone in the community to judge our artwork, and then we give out, prizes yet to be determined right now.
Although not yet judged, the show is open to the public right now through May 12th. It makes an interesting walkthrough, and if you see something you can't live without, most of the work is for sale and can be taken home at the conclusion of the show. For Weekend Showcase in Maple Grove, Neil Persley, CCX News.
The second National Signing Day for high school senior football players was this past Wednesday, and recruiting is well underway for the class of 2023. John Jacobson has more on a local high school junior who is staying home for college football.
The University of Minnesota football team received its third verbal commitment for the 2023 recruiting class when Osseo High School junior Jerome Williams announced his plans to play for the Gophers. The 6'4", 280-pound offensive lineman was a CCX All-Area selection and a second-team All-Metro pick last fall. We talked to Jerome Wednesday evening about his decision to become a Golden Gopher.
My parents liked it. They didn't know too much about football. They're kind of like me, newer to this sport, but my dad was bought in. I went to the junior day on Sunday. My mom's been bought in for a while. I love the program. The coaching staff shows so much love, and they put in so much effort in building relationships. So I think it was the best choice, to be honest. I fit there pretty well, and the coaches really like me. So I just wanted to get it over with. I had a lot of other options, but I think that this one was the best option by far. And it's good to get it over with, because even if I did visit more schools, I knew Minnesota was going to be at the top of my list.
Williams is considered one of the top in-state prep prospects from the class of 2023. John Jacobson, CCX Sports.
Section meets are this coming week for local Nordic ski teams. Conference championships were on the line this week, including at the Lake Conference meet.
A chilly day for the Lake Conference Nordic ski meet at Highland and Bloomington. Wayzata's Daniel McCullough starts third in the boys' pursuit. A close battle for first, and Edina's Andrew DeFore edges Benon Bradabo of Eden Prairie to take the top spot. McCullough of Wayzata is about a minute back, but he skis well enough to place third for the Trojans. Brendan Hiver of Wayzata takes fifth place, and he helps Wayzata to the boys' team title. Logan Drevlo and Liam Urbanovitz of Hopkins and Daniel Gladkov of Wayzata are 8, 9, and 10. Then it's the girls' turn. Maggie Wagner of Edina starts first based on her strong showing in the classic race. 7 seconds later, it's Sydney Drevlo of Hopkins going out second. After Wagner falls, it's Drevlo emerging as the winner, 36 seconds ahead of the runner-up Wagner. Elsa Bergman, a senior for Hopkins, places third and helps the Royals to second place as a team. Audrey Parham takes fourth for Wayzata as the Trojans tie Hopkins for that second spot. Eden Prairie is the team champion. As we check the team scores for the boys and girls at the Lake Conference Nordic. Jay Wilcox, CCX Sports.
On the wrestling mat, rivals Osseo and Maple Grove went head-to-head Thursday as part of a tri-meet with St. Cloud. Osseo making the short trip to Maple Grove for a prep wrestling matchup with the Druggemiller Cup at stake for the Orioles and Crimson. At 120 pounds, Maple Grove's 9th-ranked Connor Peterson doesn't quite get the pin here on Deontay Doss, but Peterson wins by tech fall, and it's 11-6 Crimson. Osseo wins 6 of the next 7, though. Vincent Tolino gets the takedown here on Julian Stevens in the 170-pound match on his way to a 12-4 decision to make it 31-17 Orioles. A pair of close ones go to the Crimson. At 195, Andrew Toms catches Vio Kamara, not quite ready for his charge, and it leads to the winning takedown in a 6-5 match. But Osseo wins the last 2. Aiden Wayne gets the pin over Aiden Gunville at 220, as Osseo wins the match 43-23 to keep the Druggemiller Cup. That's it for sports. I'm Jay Wilcox.
Find more prep sports games and highlights at ccxmedia.org and follow us on social media.